Right. So, you know, this theme was sort of deliberated yesterday that I'm going to talk about building foundations of change. And I was told that I'm going to be in the gathering of people who are all doing super change, and I was super nervous, right? You can feel my legs shaking right now. But most important, I have been a student of innovation for a long time. I got exposed to this word called innovation only in the year 2006. Before that, I was sleeping, right? And slowly I discovered that it's a very fuzzy process. It's what we call the woolen ball process. And as a learner of innovation, I started going deep, deep, deep. And I am here and going to talk about innovation. And every time when we start thinking of innovation, everyone starts telling that innovation is a function of ideas. The starting point of innovation is ideas, right? And if you keep on dreaming those ideas more and more, if those ideas become your persistent dream, then innovation starts happening, right? And we all know, and we all know something like that. The genesis of idea is some sort of a question. So ever wondered how much water is getting lost in a household? Or ever wondered, for example, lots of people are walking at a railway station. This is Churchgate railway station in Mumbai, and millions of people walk every day there. What happens to all the energy which is generated, right? All of us are aware of these thoughts. A lot of these questions keep on coming. And by the way, as a student of some sort of physics in my college days, we did some maths, and the maths is fairly simple. If you walk for, let's say, about 100 meters, maybe 50 meters, you expend something about 1,000 joules. A 70-kilogram man will expend about 1,000 joules. And then we did some sort of maths. Okay, we also learned something about kinetic energy, right? So, and then we also knew about something called, Einstein gave this very famous line, energy can never be created or not destroyed, or something of that sort. So we did the maths and we figured out, not we, someone did the maths and figured out that, okay, it takes about 20 or 14 joules or maybe 14 watts of energy, and 100 watts of energy is used to walk. Only about 14 watts is for kinetic energy. So what happens to the rest? So these were the basic questions which comes there in people. Similarly, ever wondered that what happens, this is a picture of an orchard in Kashmir, and when the season is ripe, you get millions of these apples, and if you don't take it to the markets, then a lot of apples get wasted, right? And ever wondered at how much of these apples get wasted? How many of these apples are rotting, right? And when you start looking at these processes, you start getting more curious, right? And these were the questions. These were posed by school kids to us. I work in the area of schools. I work with school children, and I'm trying to propel some sort of a innovation ecosystem in schools. So, and there are millions of such questions, right? So I'm going to show a very interesting thing which is right there here with us. So if these questions are there and all kids are dreaming, why don't we see innovation? That was a question that we asked ourselves, right? And most of you as a kid, you would have dreamt number of things, but nothing came, mostly, right? Nothing came out. And it's a fair question to ask, and then if you ask this question, that something starts unboxing. Now, this is what I learned. Innovation is not equal to ideas. Everyone tells us innovation is a function of ideas, but innovation is not equal to ideas purely because we are not building a system, or we have not developed a system where kids can build out their ideas. Not even kids, even grown-ups cannot build out their ideas, right? So with that hypothesis, we said that, okay, let's try and work in the innovation ecosystem, try and build an innovation ecosystem where kids can build out their idea. And out of that came our project, which is called Youth Ideathon. Today, it's India's largest school level innovation and entrepreneurship project, and this is the theme. So kids know this theme, I start up a good thing for India, right? And that was some sort of a motivational slogan that we gave, and our mission was to empower young minds to become more creative, solve real life world problems. And if you solve real life problems, then you become sort of more entrepreneurial. And with that mission, we sort of created this thing. Now, it's a multi-stage stuff which keeps on going on. I'm not going to talk about all the stages. Everything starts with a dream, but this is the stage where a lot of wonderful things happen, right? About 2,000 school children in India, we give them 1,000 rupees to build out their dream. That's all, right? So 1,000 rupees is enough to give shape to what we now call, in the parlance of startups, a MVP, or in the old economy parlance, the prototype. And those things are something like kids are tinkering, working, making, breaking things, shaking up. And then at one fine day, they are able to show us in a nice video pitch that, lo and behold, we have done this, right? And why I'm saying all this? Because, forget all this, streamer, right? Because some kid used this question and they came up with this simple circuit, working circuit, and they are able to put it on the sole of your shoes and able to harness that energy, right? So how much energy they are able to harness? 1,000 watts is produced, 14 goes into kinetic energy. They are able to harness 1.2 milliwatt. That's it. 1.2 milliwatt, right? But you start doing the maths and you convert 1.2 milliwatts into today's lovely slogan called 10,000 steps. It becomes 14 watt, which is good enough to charge up 50% of your iPhones, right? Now, this is the innovation which is being spearheaded by school children, just because they started asking a very fundamental question, which when we grow up, we keep on choosing to ignore. All the examples, right? The water example which I gave, water falling, there's a girl, class 11th in Bangalore. She read about something called Deming's 14 principles and said, can we apply? And she's built up a nice app which is now running in society, and that society is saving water. Or yeah, there are stories which goes on. I have my friend Ankur Rawal. He works for CEW, and he is witness to, he is a IIT Bombay design engineer. He is witness to a curious kid's question, which was around, why does this, anyone from Delhi here? I see a lot of people from Bangalore, right? Okay, great. So why does this whole ballyhoo starts happening after Diwali about thing called PM 2.5? And there are many reasons for it. Now, some kid somewhere observed that there's some security guard who at the middle of the night is burning up some fire and it's adding up to smoke and all this sort of stuff. And he said, can we do something about it? And if you can stand up, the jacket that has come out of that question is a thermally heated jacket. It comes with a USB charger and no burning of gases. You can just wear, and that's coming out of a kid's bright question, right? So friends, basically what we have done is about 2 lakh kids participate, train 12,000 teachers, 5,000 schools, are the big numbers. What is interesting is we have created a crowdfunding platform for school students where they're able to put their innovation and raise money. They're also selling their stuff. Everything happens in a space of 2 to 3 months, right? So this is another innovation, apple grader and sorter, which is coming out by a school student. It costs only 10,000 rupees, coming out of that 1,000 rupees grant, right? Basically, this is our belief. And I was thinking when I was told that I have to speak about change, building foundations of change, I really want us to focus on this bit. So this change program, which is slowly happening, first year we had about 50,000 students. We are in the 4th edition, 2 lakh students, and we really think it can grow, but it is growing just because we are now able to pull in a lot of mentors, right? These are all PhD scholars of IIT who are now interacting with students, helping them iron out the glitches in their ideas, helping them with steps to make things happen. A lot of startup founders, a lot of CXOs, and they are sort of fueling this. We are building this network. This is the story which is going on behind the scene. We'd really love to work with all of you together. This is a student got a chance to showcase innovation with Prime Minister. They are shining. Someone is going to Stanford because of a platform which has been created. So that's the story in gist. I'll be very happy to collaborate with all of you. That's about building foundations of change from my side. Thank you very much.
If I could just request you to stay back with us for next couple of minutes in case there are any questions regarding this presentation. Kindly raise your hands and we shall pass on a mic to you. Well, that tells me that this was quite the productive and informative session. Thank you very much for joining us. You do have a question? Allow me a moment.
Very happy to see the innovative work you are doing, especially with the large number of children. What type of schools are participating in this? They are mainly from the cosmopolitan cities or?
I have phenomenal learning, and it's a great question, sir. Right, so I went to a tribal school in Madhya Pradesh, which is Eklavya Residential Model School, and the number of such tribal schools out there, and we asked children, "Ek idea socho," and we got 0 ideas. Right, so that's India. It's deep, right? People, it's deep because of the backgrounds kids are coming from and the education that they are getting, which is really hard, and we have not made them free enough to think, right, or to talk about something called ideas, right? And then you have to again ask the question in multiple ways and someone will say, there are lots of social stuff which comes out, right? A girl would say that my dad beats my mom and I want to solve that problem. And sometimes we don't get the answers to those problems, right? Some people will say, there's a whole lot of rush for this tanker comes और पूरी भीड़ लग जाती है और हम उसमें कुछ नहीं कर पाते, तो उसको कैसे solve करें, right? So lots of stories or problem statements keep on coming out, but we have to work together. Now coming back to your question, when we started, we thought that we are going to invigorate the whole of India. That's not really happening. What we are getting is about 60% schools. We get almost 100% urban schools, right? Or even if something of the nature of rural is there, it could be Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, which is again a good school, etc., right? We get a lot of students from privileged backgrounds, but slowly we are also getting students from underprivileged backgrounds, and they are sharing ideas. For example, the story that I shared of Dakshani Pandey, her dad is a rickshaw puller, right? But she has thought of an innovation where she conceived that if you are in a car and for some reason if the carbon monoxide level goes up, then the windows should automatically go down. And she built it up as a prototype, showed it at IIT on a large stage, and then won hearts of everyone. But 80% privileged, 20% it's a story in making. We still have a long way to go.
One more question. Is the mentorship of the students done by the school or by you got other people?
Yeah, you see, we slowly learned, right? So initially we said that we are great, we will mentor. I've been teaching entrepreneurship for now 15 years. And, it's far more complex. So then we realized that first of all, we have to open up the minds of teachers. So we ran this whole program of teaching entrepreneurship in your subject area. You can't be teaching entrepreneurship. If I'm a teacher of biology, then I have to teach entrepreneurship in biology. If you're a teacher of history, you have to teach entrepreneurship in history. Those sort of stuff we started creating and started empowering teachers. 12,000 teachers trained last year. Still, teachers are frozen, right? A lot of ideas, students will have some other idea, teacher will shape it in some other fashion, it gets written down there, and then when it comes in some manner to us, and if that idea gets selected, then our mentors come in and then they start opening. Now, who are these mentors? This year we involved about 200 PhD scholars of IIT Delhi, IIT Madras, Bombay, BITS Pilani, etc., and they are now engaging with these students. Their job is not to change students' idea, but to discover the idea of the student and then to work. Then we have got about 100 startup founders, about 100 CXOs who engage with this, about 500. We work with about 200 school principals. We work with them, and it's a journey of change which is going on, hard to break. It is deeply entrenched, but at somewhere we have to open up the minds.
Thank you.